The next part of our defensive series will feature closing out, arriving on the catch. So in this example, Jrue Holiday is in help right here, tagging the roller. Now he has to close out to his offensive player that is lifting up. Watch how he closes out with his inside hand high and his inside foot to the shooter. Now he can take a step off and he's on ball defense. Now when you're closing out, there's usually 3 different ways you'll close out. If it's a non-shooter, you'll close out short. If the shooter shoots between 33 to 37% from the three-point line, you'll break down 2/3 of the way, inside hand up, and then you'll use that inside hand to get a touch on the shooter. If it's the third way and they shoot above a certain percentage based off the scouting report for your team and your team principles, you'll attempt to run them off the line, which we'll feature in the next series. But Jrue Holiday is really good at closing out with his inside hand high and his inside foot. Now in this example right here, Mike Conley closes out. Now he squares up the offensive player so he can get a chest stop. Really good on-ball defense there too. Now watch on this example right here, Kawhi's in his gap. So when Ben Simmons starts to drive, he's in his gap, so he gets a stunt and a swipe up with this hand. Now he's closing out to his man right there at the break. Inside hand, inside foot. Now he angled him on the closeout right here to the baseline. Now he can square him up and guard him. Donovan Mitchell right here, great closeout to a shooter. Closes out, inside hand high, inside foot right here. So he can angle him to the baseline and he can cut him off or beat him to that next spot. Jaylen Brown, great closeout, and it forces the offensive player to take a sidestep 3. Eric Bledsoe right here, watch this. He's doing numerous different things defensively. So he's sinking down to take away this pass. Then when LeBron drives, he has to close out to the shooter right here at the break. Closes out and gets a high hand contest. This is another great example of helping in your gap. Watch the Joe Ingles right here. His inside foot, inside hand, stunt in to take away that drive for Tobias Harris through the nail. And then he's going to close out to the shooter right here and get a stop. Here it is, Jrue Holiday again. Inside hand, inside foot. Once the offensive player starts to drive, he can cut him off and get a steal. Another great example. So the scout report for Toronto right here is to help on Klay and then get a late contest right here on Andre Iguodala, which is exactly what Kyle Lowry does. He helps in and then can get back out and give a high hand contest. This is a great example right here of arriving on the catch. So watch how they arrives on the catch. Now he can angle the offensive player to the help, which is right to the baseline, and then Rudy Gobert comes over for verticality. Right here, Jason Tatum is the low man. Now, on that pass, he starts to close out. He arrives right on the catch. Really good job, and now he can get a high hand contest. That's a tough shot because he arrived on the catch. Jeff Green right here is at the elbow, taking away that driving angle. And then once the pass is made, can close out, inside hand, inside foot right here. Now he's on ball defense, gets a chest stop, makes the offensive player turn. Just a great effort right here. Watch what Marcus Smart does. Great effort as the low man to get a block. Now he closes out across the court, arrives on the catch, and can now angle the offensive player back middle. Once again, inside hand, inside foot, close out, makes the shooter think about it, and then can get a high hand contest. The next part of our NBA defensive series will feature closing out and running a shooter off the line. So if the scouting report determines that that player is someone you do not want to allow a clean look from 3, on the closeout, your main job is to not allow that 3. So you are running them off the line aggressively. So at that point, you want the offensive player to dribble into the paint, into a mid-range jumper or mid-range floater, like in this example right here where Serge Ibaka closes out aggressively to run the offensive player off the line so they don't get a clean look from a corner 3. He dribbles right into a contested shot versus Kyle Lowry helping. Now, the other thing you'll see a lot is on this closeout because it's so aggressively. You can see Kyle Lowry's ready to jump and contest this shot with a high hand that forces the offense player to think about it, and it creates a travel. Your main job here is to close out so aggressively that the offensive player puts the ball on the ground and it forces either a contested mid-range shot, or they dribble in to help, or they travel or cause a turnover. Like this is a great example right here for Utah. You can see Mike Conley is aggressively closing out to not allow that corner three, and that forces one dribble into a pull-up from the baseline, and that's exactly what the defense wants right there. Once again, Kawhi does a good job of running that player off the line. You can see in this example, Rudy Gobert even jumps prior on that shot fake to get a high hand contest. Now Serge Ibaka has to put the ball on the floor, and now they can help, and it's a tough contested shot in the paint.